This is your update for 32-year-old Chelsea Manning, 36-year-old, 37-year-old Edward Snowden, 48-year-old Julian Assange. So Chelsea Manning, Private Manning, formerly Bradley. So this is Chelsea Manning's own words. My long-standing belief is that grand juries, as they function in the contemporary era, are often used by federal prosecutors to harass and disrupt political opponents and activists through secrecy, coercion, and jailing without trial. No matter how much you punish me, I will remain confident in my decision. So Chelsea Manning is going to keep going to jail for as long as it fucking takes. You want to sit there and subpoena her and force her to testify? Don't she have a right to the Fifth Amendment, the right to silence, the right to not say shit? And so this is torture. They said this is incarceration. It's a punitive sanction. She's in there for not testifying against Assange and Donald Trump's case against Assange. Fuck that case, you know? And it's ironic Donald Trump didn't testify at his own impeachment. He ordered a bunch of people not to testify, not to listen to the subpoenas. So Chelsea Manning is just guilty of, you know, she's in jail right now for the same thing Donald Trump got away with, right? Donald Trump didn't listen to subpoenas. Donald Trump didn't go into court and testify with his impeachment trial. So it just shows you how these bastards are just cheating motherfuckers. If you're on our team, we'll protect you. If you're our buddy, we'll make sure you don't go through the same sausage-making factory of the judicial branch that all the other plebes, the masses, have to go through. So Chelsea Manning's already spent 7 years in prison. And then Chelsea only got 22 months of freedom. In that 22 months, Chelsea chose to run for the U.S. Senate of Maryland. So she only had a year and a half freedom. And with her year and a half, she ran for Senate. My God, talk about a super American. Goes to fight a war, tells the truth about the war, goes to prison, and, you know, falls upon her cross. It has to, be punished for a long-ass time for doing the right thing, for being a good person in America. You can't be a good person in America. Look what happened to Chelsea Manning. Look what happened to Edward Snowden. Look what's happening to Julian Assange. You can't be a good person in America. America's being run by criminals who like to murder and kill. And if they want to kill some journalists, some Reuters reporters, and some children in Iraq, who the fuck are you to say that they can't do it? You ain't going to do shit about it. You ain't going to stop the war. You don't give a shit if the kids are, Palestinian kids continue to die. We're in Cameroon right now watching a genocide. Myanmar genocide. Yemen genocide. That's America. Hey, good job, America. Because of America and the American government, therefore the citizens who allow the American government to get away with this shit, we're killing untold amount of people in Yemen. What the fuck did Yemen ever do to you, America? Jesus Christ. So, yeah, what a super-duper American. Chelsea Manning is fantastic, pointing out the problem with the grand jury system. And the grand jury system is how the police get away with murder. So that's fantastic, right? Cops, soldiers, they murder. Meanwhile, Chelsea Manning says, hey, they just murdered these journalists and almost killed these kids, and now it was 7 years in prison. And back in prison. She only got a year, 2 years of freedom, back in prison, back into the box. Why? For doing the same shit Donald Trump did, not listening to subpoenas. So this is being forced to testify. I'm not for sure, can anybody be forced to testify? Maybe a murder trial, right? If there's a murder, if we actually had a trial for those Reuters journalists and that Apache helicopter pilot and all those people that were killed, then, I would think that, you need to force them to testify. You murdered somebody, there's a dead person, there's a dead body, yeah, you got to testify. Yeah, absolutely, or you'll go to jail. But meanwhile, Chelsea Manning just passed information along. So, passed information along in the information age. Chelsea Manning and Julian Assange and Edward Snowden's legacy throughout history is absolutely certain. Their place in history is absolute. They're in the information age. Nobody 100 years from now is not going to look back and say, God, I'm sure glad they threw Chelsea Manning in jail. I'm sure, glad that Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, I'm glad they don't live in America. It's a good thing we exiled those champions of truth and justice and whistleblowing journalism, the First Amendment. Jesus Christ, am I the only one around here that believes in the First Amendment? We fucked over, Chelsea Manning, so we just flushed the First Amendment down the goddamn fucking toilet. Did we ever have any Bill of Rights? Do we have any freedoms in this country? If a cop just accuses you, well, it doesn't matter. They could shoot you. They get away with it. They could accuse you of anything. They get away with it. The system just turns, just eats you up and spits you. They don't give a shit. So, yeah, Chelsea Manning is just guilty for the same crimes as Donald when it comes to the trial, right? But they care more about parliamentary procedure than, murder, death, rape, arson, all the rest of them. In their priorities, right? I mean, jaywalking it's not really, you didn't hurt nobody, right? But the crimes where somebody is injured, can we start doing that? Victimless crime. Let's ignore victimless crimes and let's actually, go after people that hurt other people. So, yeah, fucking shit. Assange has 18 charges, 175 years in jail. Donald only had 2 charges. So these cases, it just shows you how these bastards, these rich, powerful people, Donald never gets a fair trial, never actually has to go through, that is never held to account to anything that he does or says. No fines, no prison time was even threatened for his crimes. Meanwhile, Chelsea Manning is going to be rotting in prison, and Julian Assange is rotting in prison for doing the same shit Donald did. So we have a judicial system against the poor people. If a poor person, maybe did something or didn't something, it doesn't matter. Just get them in jail. If a rich person does something, well, they got to have fair trial. Well, you got to do that. Well, just let them go. Fuck it. Who cares? And then you think about all those commuted sentences. So Donald Trump keeps pardoning people left and right. Rod Blagojevich, I didn't think he was like a terrible criminal just because he wanted to sell the Senate seat or some shit. It's corrupt. It's bad. But 8 years, I feel like it's a good thing when they do that pardoning. It shows clemency. It shows that they're merciful. So it's just ironic that Rod Blagojevich, right, breaks federal law. You get on out of here. Get the hell out of here. And Pete Buttigieg would have fired the FBI, if they were black for illegal wiretapping. Pete Buttigieg would have fired the NSA, right, if they were black for illegal wiretapping. But did Rod actually commit a crime? I'm not going to defend Rod Blagojevich. I'm going to compare all these commutations to Chelsea Manning. He could go ahead and say, Chelsea Manning, you're not guilty. You stood up for freedom and right. Donald Trump pardoned a bunch of war criminals. So if you go around killing a bunch of people, well, you'll get, out scot-free. But if you say, hey, that person killed another person, right? We're pro-murder, right? The police get to kill whoever they want to do, soldiers get to kill whoever they want. We get pardons for it. If America kills a Mexican, Supreme Court says that Mexican doesn't get any of the freedoms protected under the Bill of Rights. Jesus Christ, you're just going to let fascism, unleashing fascism. Cops and soldiers can do whatever the hell they want. I'm sure that's not a recipe for disaster. I'm sure nobody's going to abuse their authority. Absolute power corrupts never. It never corrupts, right? Absolute power is actually a de-corrupting device. That's how you give everybody just absolute power, and they will never be corrupt. Arguing that you don't care about privacy because you have nothing to hide is no different than saying you don't care about free speech because you have nothing to say. It's Edward Snowden. So the news for Private Manning, Maura Meltzer-Cohen lodged a motion with the federal court in the Eastern District of Virginia calling for Private Manning to be set free. He's still in the Alexandria Detention Center, and he's got $230,000 in fines, and he's being fined $1,000 per day. So he has to pay for him staying in jail because of his, basically Manning said either I have to make a mockery of my conscience or I have to go to jail. Both of these are terrible decisions. I'm in between a rock and a hard place. But Manning says, I'm going to do this for as long as it fucking takes. And you know what? Maybe this is just Manning's purpose, but I feel like, I'll respect Manning till the day I die, but I wonder if the transgender, all this shit, if we just fucked him up so bad now, he's like, you know what? I got a real sensitive side to me, and I need to chop up my genitals. I feel like having to go through all this shit just fucked him up so much, so being a transgendered person got him some love and attention, then good for him. But I hate seeing how America destroys people and just watching people slowly, deteriorate and fade away, and then, you don't see them ever again. Where did they go? They were just here. They were a superstar. We all loved them, and then now we all turned against them. So, yeah, he went from the governor of Minnesota to being a convicted prisoner in federal jail. That's crazy, right? For Rod Blagojevich, but not a totally bad guy, not a totally innocent guy, but he did something bad. What did, Assange and all the rest, they were, I guess they could say that's a crime, but it's, for me as an American, me as a part of the American public, I'm glad that Julian Assange told me the truth. I'm glad somebody's telling me the truth. In this post-truth era, the few truth tellers that we have are the few people that you can even trust and know what the fuck is going on. And life is confusing enough, so there's a lot of shit that, is like, what the hell? A black hole looks like that? Why does a black hole look like, a little race car, electronic race car set? It's not just a hole, but it's like going over here and over around here and over there, and it's like, what in the hell is that? That's what a black hole looks like? Can anybody, what about the moon? Is the moon just a chunk of Earth, or is it an asteroid that got stuck in the orbit? I mean, these are major questions that I feel like we should have probably got answered by now. And if we're sharing scientific facts and knowledge, then we're, living in truth and just manifesting in truth and just being saturated with the truth. Versus right now where you have a bunch of liars, a bunch of propagandists, a bunch of James Carville fucking, crypt keeper sons of bitches just bullshitting everybody and hoping that their bullshit will get them somewhere. And a lot of times, look at him, Donald, he said basically he only tells people what they want to hear. He tells people what they want to hear, and that's how he gets where he wants to know. I'm telling you what you want to hear. I'm not saying what I actually believe. I'm just telling you what you want to hear. And he's been getting away with that shit for quite some fucking time. So, I think we need manners, we need to be polite, but we also need the truth. So we can have, be, what do they call that, just have tact. We can have tact. We can tell the truth, and we could do it tactfully, and we could, be mannerly throughout the day. But without the truth, without the actual information, without the facts, how the fuck can you even begin to fathom what the hell is going on around you? You have to live in reality, and you need facts and truth and reason and logic, and that's, in fact, that's all we got. That is all we got. So, shit, I can't do nothing with a bunch of fucking lies. I can't do shit with lies. Anyways, free Private Manning, free Assange, and bring Edward Snowden back home. Vote for Bernie Sanders. Peace.